What's up guys, welcome back to another monster video. So in today's video, we are going to be reviewing the monster Ravenous, which is basically one of the newest bounty hunt monsters. And we're going to be doing a full review from level 1 to 250 rank 5. I'm going to show you guys basically the best runes, the best relics, the best skills, and everything you need to know about this monster. I hope you guys are excited. If you are, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. Anyways, we're going to get started. Alrighty guys, so take a look at this. We have basically 8,900, which is basically 9,000 cells. We do have the egg, so technically it's 9k altogether. Now, good thing is I don't have to craft it. Huge thanks to Social Point because they went ahead and gave me the egg, all the cells for it, the gems and stuff like that. I do have a lot of gems. Yeah, they really hooked me up with a lot of gems. That's crazy. Huge thanks to them. But we did just went ahead and hashed it. I'm going to go ahead and take it to the rank up, and we're basically going to rank it up straight away. You know what I mean? Let's not waste any time and straight up just rank it up. But it looks like we have Cold Blood Hater. Oh, Immune to Torture, Cold Blood Hater, and then Satisfaction Arrow Random Debuff at rank 3. So technically, you can really just get this monster to rank 3. And then you'll benefit from everything that he has. He doesn't have anything above that, but if you do want to increase the stats, it is recommended to go for rank 5 because then he'll be dealing more damage. Also, his speed's going to be higher. Let's not forget about the power and stuff like that. So altogether, you know what I mean, it's going to be everything. Also, if you get this monster, it looks like you're actually going to be getting some rewards if you have all these other monsters. So we should be getting a lot of cells. Yeah, look at that. We got a lot of resources. Let's go ahead and open up the chest. So these are all the diamonds that we're going to get. Okay. And then these are all the runes here as well. Looks like I got some level 10s as well there, which is cool. Right, it's time to start feeding this monster up. Now, there's going to be a QR code on the screen if you guys are playing on a computer. You guys can go ahead and scan that. Just a quick access to the game. Looks like he just got a heavy physical damage that comes with vulnerability. Yo, we haven't had a physical like damage attack in a very long time for these mythic monsters. I remember one of the monsters in the past, I think it was a mythic actually, that came with a physical attack, like a physical damage attack, and looks like he just got one. But yeah, we are getting closer and closer to 130, and now finally we should be getting that 150 stats. There it is. Okay, so the stats looking, oh my gosh, 66,144 is crazy. 1.95 million life, and then 33,296 speed. You guys have already seen the traits, obviously. Basically, arrow random debuff, that could be like that count off. I think it's one of them. There could be like a damage reduction and a bunch of other things really that could really just throw off the enemy. But let's see what we have here in terms of skills. So applies 2 random amounts of weaknesses, applies toxins to an enemy, and insane water damage. Oh wow, yeah, that's definitely a must-have. I think that's probably like a 70-75% like a attack. Applies guard down, shock, and vulnerability to all enemies, and then gains 1 extra turn. Ooh, that's actually really good because listen, think about it. He gets the extra turn, but he's also applying guard down, shock, which is pretty good for if you're going up against monsters with extra turn. Also, vulnerability basically just makes them vulnerable to your attack, and guard down, you never really miss your attack, which is really good. So think of it as like precision. You also have this one right here, which is heavy water damage to all enemies, applies vulnerability and drown. I was gonna say, where's the AoE skills? Heavy turn damage to all enemies, applies a random amount of weakness and shock. We have a water one, and then we can carry this one. Or here's the thing, I really like physical because you can never really go wrong with physical attacks. You know what I mean? It's just never going to be weak. It's never going to be like stupid strong either. It's like perfect right there. You know what I mean? But I think I am going to actually switch out with this AoE one. So we have 2 AoEs there. This one comes with guard down. This one's a pretty good attack. Actually, no, I'm going to switch it back up. I saw this. Look at that, 0 cooldown, 0 stamina. So if you get hit with cooldowns or get hit with all your stamina gone, then you can actually rely on that attack. But again, this is also a really good skill, so it's really up to you. It's like a personal choice, guys. In terms of stamina, looks like we're actually not too bad. And then the cooldowns is moderate, I would say, except this one. This one's pretty good. Let me go ahead and unlock up these 2. And for the runes, what I would recommend doing, guys, is you can either do 2 red and 1 orange, something like this, or you can actually switch it up and do 2 speed and 1 strength. Now for bounty hunts, obviously this is what I would recommend. You want to switch it up to full strength like this, but that's going to make him way too strong. So for regular battle, I'm going to do 2 speed and 1 strength. And now for the relics, guys. So relics, he does have double sword, which I saw through bounty hunts. What I would recommend is for one of the swords only, just 1 sword, give it a Star Sealers. So he has something to kind of back him up with stamina. And then for the second one, you can't really go wrong with whatever you really give. There's like Electro Patrol. You can even go with like one of the obsidian ones if you want. I'm just going to do this one actually. Electro Patrol is fine. Even like a Supreme Sword or whatever you really have. Give your best. But I do like the immune to torture, so he doesn't really take any tortures, which is nice. That's pretty good. Like that's one of the best traits to have. Alright, now in terms of allies, You can't go wrong with Florian. Obviously, Florian is one of the best to give, or like to go with any monster really, and any attackers. You can switch out Florian with like a damage booster if you want, or even like a trade disabler or whatever. I think one of his skills actually do. Yeah, there's actually 2 of them that trade disables, or he might have more than that actually. But yeah, Florians will be one of the best monsters to actually go with. I would try to make their speed as close as possible to each other, so nobody really gets in between and does anything. But here's the thing. So if there is any anticipation monsters in the enemy team, you do want to get rid of that as soon as possible, because remember guys, Ravenous does have a skill that allows him to get an extra turn. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the anticipation trade table. Let's say if this monster had it, we would just do that. And then you can either possess and, you know, apply the toxins, or you could just do an AoE trade table just like this. Just open up the path for him, which is actually really good in my opinion. So now he doesn't have to worry about anything. He applies the guard down, shock, and he get an extra turn with the vulnerability, which is really good. Look at this. These guys are all, or most of them, 2 of them are water elements, and these water attacks are, wait a second, why does it look weak still? There's vulnerability. Oh, I guess, yeah, there's no like elemental weakness. Okay, that makes sense. But I mean, it still does a lot of like insane damage. Now you could do the fearless gambit, but I'm gonna do my AoE skill, and this is a 45% AoE, guys. Let's take a look at that damage. Wow, look at that. Just completely wiped them off. And now I'm gonna show you guys another thing. So this monster is a thunder element, right? So obviously thunder attacks aren't really gonna do the craziest. Although that was one of the ones he has. I'm not carrying the other ones, but say if I was carrying those like thunder attacks that he had, or at least one of them, instead of, you know, relying on the thunder attacks, I have water to use, or I could use the physical one. The physical one's actually really good. You can never really go wrong with this. Like, look, if I were to attack this monster, that can never really be weak unless, well, no, there's no unless. It really can't be weak. There is no like physical element in the game. Like, that's not really considered one. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like, let me see if it's showing right here. Yeah, so look, these are all the elements. Physical is not in here. So it can never really be weak, but also it can never really be strong as well. Unless I'm missing on like, I'm not sure if elemental weakness, status caster, or element like skills that has elemental weaknesses. Like, you know how his trait has the elemental weakness, and when it gets applied, I'm not sure if that also applies like a physical weakness. I doubt it. I really doubt it. You guys can let me know in the comments. Let me go ahead and open up that trait real quick a little bit. And then you can also do this, like possession with toxins if you want. Or when this monster gets a turn, again, I would highly recommend every time start with that. That's really good. And then you can do whatever you want after that. Now this one's a 2 random elemental weaknesses with toxins. Okay, now this is 80%. This is not 75%. I was wrong. It's actually 80%. So let's take a look at that. Yo, that's insane, bro. Oh my gosh. Just completely obliterated. All right, and then we're going to finish it off with the fearless gambit and just wipe them all off. Oh wow, there's actually another wave. Okay, now there's a mega taunt. So with the mega taunt, we can either do AoE or single target. Let me just do the AoE just to see like how much damage he's gonna take. 300k times 3, so that's almost a million, or actually a little over a million if we count the extra bit of damage that came with that. But yeah, so what do you guys think of this monster? Again, he is available in the bounty hunt, and he'll be coming back around like later on in the game. But he's actually not that bad. Honestly, as an attacker, like if you paired up with the right monsters, he can definitely be a threat. But I'd love to hear your opinion, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.